shows that I think, they are not completely perfect. They're a team that can be beatable.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So,
Brazil of equal quality.
yeah, they're also good,
One of
right?
pre-tournament favorites.
Absolutely, they're also good, right? But with the performance of these girls, I think the Flamingos have got some quality to go toe-to-toe with these two teams. And I think for the USA, all I'm expecting from them is to take their chances. You won't have 15 chances like you had against New Zealand. Take your chances. You have 2, 3. Take 3. You score your goals, and it's as simple as that, right? And also, I've observed that this team have been defensively very resolute, right? They've considered how many? Just 3 goals, in the 3 games, have scored more than that. So that shows you that they're very, very watertight at the back. Now, I think it's commendable from that aspect.
For me, the fact that Chile had a goal against them, though it's penalty, is worrisome from my standpoint. Because look at it. When I saw the roster, I saw the lineup, who Nigeria was playing against in this particular competition at group stages. I expected Nigeria to qualify, maybe lose to Germany. And it's turned out just the way it is.
Yeah.
Chile are not the biggest name in world football. So I wouldn't want to bax like Mari's doing, saying they just conceded 3. No, it's concerning for me. I think they have to be very solid at the back, especially from the midfield. I always talk about a high block. I really expect them to do a better job against the US side or a Brazil side. Definitely, this side will want to be the ones dominating proceedings. But they ought to bring a strong mentality into this game. For me, football is usually about the mentality you carry first. Before we talk about the skills, talk about tactics and the rest. The mentality is most important. If they have a right mentality into this game, Brazil or USA might just be in for it.
Right, now let's look at the fixtures simultaneously by 3:30. That's exactly 60 minutes from now. United States take on Morocco, while Brazil take on India. And Morocco are third and would definitely fancy their chances heading to this one. Maybe if they can get a point here, then, could qualify as one of the best third-place teams. So it will be about damage control, conceding less against United States. Well, that sounds like we're condemning Morocco to a loss already, even before kickoff.
Well, for me, I wouldn't want to do that. It's a competition. You get into this level. Just like the World Cup, anybody can shock you. No. But come on, USA are the favorite. That's basically what it is. History stands on with them. But we're beginning to see the Moroccan side come up from the national team, the senior national team. We saw them perform quite well at that level. At CAF competition in terms of group club games, we saw Moroccan side do quite well the last time out. So it's basically showing that there's something the Moroccans are doing when it has to do with women's football, and it's adding up to the number. Then now at the World Cup in India, they're performing in a tough group. If USA are not careful, they might be shocked by what these teams can bring.
I think this is just going to be a reality check for them because, the first game they lost against Brazil by a goal, and then the only team they've been able to defeat has been
India.
In India. And India is like the whipping girls in the group. They have been dashing everybody goals. 3-0. They've defeated India 3 goals, so they've been dashing everybody goals. So I think this is their stand test. And then it's actually very difficult because the US are thinking of qualifying as group leaders in order to meet a less fancied opponent in the next round of the competition. Unfortunately, it might be Nigeria.
Yeah, they really want to meet Nigeria.
Unfortunately, it might be Nigeria. So I'm looking forward to that particular game from that perspective. But Morocco and USA, I think USA have got more quality because they've invested more into women's football the past couple of years, and then they have quality all across that team. I watched them play against India, right? And you would agree with me that these girls have got quality.
No, not against India, Mary.
I think
against Brazil, it was a 50-50 game, right? It's seriously 50-50 game, very slim. And then the 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
Never use India as a benchmark.
Maybe in cricket.
Yeah, maybe in cricket.
And at this level, absolutely not.
Yeah.
About the USA, let's glory in this moment. If this will be our last, then let's glory in it. We're in the quarterfinals.
It better not be.
FIFA.
That's where Bright was going to. Let's glory because he might not glory again.
This might be our last glory in the competition.
It's a pointer to what's been happening with the girls.
Absolutely.
2010 got to the quarterfinals. 12 got to the quarterfinals. 2014 to the quarterfinals, and afterward they drifted left at the group stage and couldn't even qualify. Now we are happy they've qualified. They've gone past the group stage.
At least they've reached the quarterfinals.
So they've reached the quarterfinals, and you saying quarterfinals might just be the ceiling for them.
They should go past. I think they
should go past. Make an effort to go past.
Yeah.
And standing with the Flamingos, I don't know what Bright is thinking, but
well, this man's to the
Flamingos.
This man's to the Rivers United.
No, I never stood with any of them. Come on.
Go
Harry.
Flamingos. Go Flamingos.
Yeah.
It goes beyond just go Flamingos. Flamingos would have to go.
No, but it starts from there. It starts from the camp. It starts from the mentality of the coaches.
Yeah,
we can do it. So they can do it.
I hope they approach this game with the right mentality, by the way.
Right.
And who says they cannot do it? They can do it.
They can.
Let's go talk about a bunch of teams. They were told they can do it, but they didn't really do it.
Right, you really have doubts.
From the very top, though, Leeds United bowed out of the CAF Champions League after succumbing to a 1-0 defeat against Esperance of Tunisia and Emirates on Saturday night. The hosts were awarded a contentious, controversial criminal penalty in the 83rd minute by the central referee. Ben Rodhan beat Soraya Yellowsuit to send the home supporters into some frenzy. Esperance sailed through an away goal rule, having lost the first leg by 2-1. Well, Soraya Yellowsuit, one of the most impressive players on the pitch, making a number of impressive saves, keeping the Tunisians at bay. The Peace Boys have now dropped to the CAF Confederations Cup following their elimination. Nigeria's other representative in the competition, Rivers United, also lost to Wydad Athletic Club of Morocco by 6 goals to nothing. And PFL champions also dropping to the second tier. Well, for Kwara United, no dropping place. Africa hasn't got a third tier club competition, at least yet. You never know what the future holds. Well, eliminated after a disappointing 2-0 defeat to defending champions RS Berkane of Morocco. But they lost out to the Moroccans on a away goals rule after the tie ended 3-3 on aggregate. Sheikh Ouattara gave RS Berkane the lead 16 minutes on the clock after a long period of sustained pressure. Goalkeeper Adewale Adenka's error allowed El Bari to score the second goal in the 54th minute. The Lorient club were unable to get back in the game despite that spirited display. Now, they joined Remo Stars, who were eliminated in the preliminary rounds. Well, this is the story here. While Rivers United, Leeds United have got the second year to fall back to. Kwara United are back home, absolutely nothing. Now, we'll look back at the weekend. I'll begin with you, Blyden. And the usual questions again would be, where did we go wrong? What were the lessons learned, and how can we improve on our chances at continental football going forward?
Well, for me, it was disappointing. For the first two teams you mentioned, Rivers United and Plateau United, I love the fact that it tallies with the saying that when you can reach the moon, you can go for the stars. It's basically what it is for them. Good performance from my standpoint, some of the teams, but it was exactly as expected. I know I sat here and I remember a couple of fans calling and saying, oh, Nigerian side will get a good result. Yeah, there could be some other indices and factors that we could talk about in the long run, but come on, I did not expect Nigerian sides to qualify. And it's sad, look at it. It's sad because it speaks volume about our football. It speaks volume about the quality of a league. It speaks volume, maybe not necessarily about the quality of the players entirely, but about the quality of the league we run. How we run the league, the functionability of it, what are the status of the players that we raise. And it goes on, it shows that if you do the right thing, you're always going to get the right result. Disappointing as it is, we've not been able to win or qualify until group stage of the CAF Champions League, and it's this bad. But on the other hand, I look at it, just as I pointed a question in the morning, Brad James, one of the biggest concerns for me, because remember the game against Plateau United, they had a penalty that wasn't due as far as I'm concerned. And probably if they had played at home in the second leg, it might have been a different story. I begin to wonder, first question I ask is, why are the North African teams playing all their second legs at home? Because for me, it's a technical advantage. All the Nigerian side were playing second leg away. It's a technical advantage. It can't just be that minute deposit that changes the entire fixture.
Right now, Mari, that does it for you, the excuse of who plays home first or who plays away, or was just that the details that, decided who went through and who went home or went to the second tier?
No, right. For me, it's a different ballgame entirely, because I think that both teams have got the equal advantage right? It's not like both games were played in North Africa. One was played in Nigeria, one was played in North Africa. So what do you do with the game that was played at home, at your home, right? Because both teams have got equal opportunity. So I wouldn't really buy into the notion, Biden saying that the first games should be played in North Africa and the second games will be played, in India. We've seen games where, the first leg, the home teams win 6-0. And then you realize the second leg is just a formality. So what did Nigerian teams do when they had a chance at home? They scored 2, conceded 1, and then we're talking about this away goal and how crucial it is for this North African side. So when they play these competitions like this, they always want to get at least a goal because they need to count. Look at Kora United, look at Plateau United. It was just a goal that settled everything. Kora United, 3-1 win in the first leg, went conceded 2, couldn't score anyone. They disqualified on away goal. So my point is, when you have a chance to play, yes, I understand, the animosity of these games, especially when you travel away from home, the crowd, the fans and all of that, but they also played in Nigeria. What did Kora United do with their chance? That's the thing. And secondly, Bright, there's a wide gulf in quality. We cannot overemphasize that. There's a wide gulf in quality between...
Well, it didn't look that wide.
Well, it looked basically...
It didn't look that wide.
Which teams qualified at the end of the day?
That's my
They
point.
qualified at the end of the day because there's a gulf in quality.
Mari, that's my point. This is a picture I have. Imagine that all the Nigerian sides played that last game, the last leg of this game at home. Don't you think one of them could have qualified?
No, let's...
Maybe Plateau United
right,
could have
no,
qualified.
no,
Just before you come in, knowing fully well that the majority of the referees are not Africans.
But we can't blame anybody, right? 2 seasons ago, right?
It's part of it.
Eyimba, they traveled to Almeric, was the first leg qualification. They lost 3-0 in the first leg, came back home, couldn't score. And then they crashed off the competition. So what's the explanation to that? It's about what you do, the advantage you have, basically.
All right, now,
That's a wide margin.
Samson,
this one is simple. It's close.
One
is demanding the Confederation of African Football to introduce video assistant referees,
Surely.
CAF, into a club competition, and this is coming on the heels of that contentious criminal penalty I talked about earlier, awarded against Plateau United in the second leg of the CAF Champions League match against Esperance, with the tie at 0-0 after 83 minutes. Egyptian referee Ibrahim Noor El-Din awarded a penalty to the host. Ifeanyi Emmanuel's foul on Mohammed Ali bin Hamouda. Well, replay showed that the infringement occurred outside the goal area.
Surely.
Now, even without VAR, the center referee missed that. And then the assistant referee, that's the line span, totally misses that. Or there was no need for consultation following heavy appeals.
For me, it's just the disadvantage of playing away in the second leg. That's it. Because look at it. Let's look at it. Plateau gave a good performance of themselves. Took the game to 80th minute. Couldn't score. The opponent couldn't score. They kept them at bay. At this time, if Plateau were playing at home in that second leg, I still guarantee you Plateau would have qualified.
Right, let's call it spade a spade. Plateau United were robbed, basically.
It's as simple as that.
They were robbed.
And it proves my point. If they were at home, they wouldn't have been robbed in the second leg.
No, but the players at home.
No, this is it. This is it. Right before you.
They played at home.
Let's look at something. Let's look at something now. They played at home, right? Played here in Nigeria. Had plethora. I don't know how I can
It's part of the game.
Both teams have got 90 minutes.
Had plethora.
It's part of the
90
game. That's why you
minutes.
have opportunity to rectify your mistakes in the second
had
leg.
plethora of chances. Let's say Plateau had scored 4 or scored 3 at
Yeah,
least.
they didn't. Great.
That penalty, that contentious moment, wouldn't even matter.
Well, it's football.
It would turn.
Right.
It would turn. The story now would be Plateau United, had a contentious penalty awarded against them.
Yeah, but it didn't stop them
Esperance
from
of
qualifying.
Tunisia got a consolation goal or won at home, but Plateau United progressed on aggregate. Now, that's why I want us to narrow the conversation to this thing is on aggregate. What do we do?
I
now,
agree.
We travel to Tunisia, we travel to Morocco, we travel to Egypt, we travel to North Africa, and always complain about the antics, complain about officiating, complain about, everything not done or that is supposed to be done for us to make us comfortable, but is not done there. Now, the conversation is, what do we do at home when we have the opportunity of deciding what happens, when we have the balls in our courts? What exactly, Blyden, do Nigerian teams do at the continent of Africa? Do we do enough? And if not, how can we improve on how we take these games, but particularly at home? Because away from home, we don't control what happens there. But at home,
I agree.
you actually can control that too. How do we maximize the home fixtures we have at the continent?
Right. We did the best we could. Look, because when you look
Was
at
that the best we could do?
No, this is it. These are top level football matches. You're not playing against a lesser opponent. Most of these teams, in terms of quality, in terms of finances, in terms of quality of players, are better off than Nigerian side.
Must we concede?
So from my standpoint,
we?
Nobody chooses
Right.
to concede. Mary, let me finish.
Right.
Nobody chooses to concede. It's football. The same way sometimes you can convert your chances.
Now,
it's football.
Now, Plates United.
There's a place for us to improve.
Plates United held out, Mari. Plates United held out for that long, 83 minutes in Tunisia before that contentious penalty. Imagine they were that resolute in defense at home.
Exactly.
Would the story be different?
That's my point, right? I was saying there, basically, what do you do with the chances you get at home, right? I understand the fact that, yes, it's away from
It's
home.
a two-legged game.
That's what I'm-
And these two-legged
that's
games
the point.
are
That's
influenced differently.
That even buttresses the fact that you should
The
do
second
more at
leg,
home.
Mary,
Do
the
more at
second
home.
leg is like having a single knockout game. That's the
I
approach of the second
I
game.
don't see it that way.
Nobody
I
chooses.
don't see it that way.
Blyden,
These two games.
have we seen teams even in this crazy CAF Champions League and Confederations Cup win the first leg convincingly and make the second leg a mere formality? Have we?
It's happened.
Yes, we
That's
have.
been the story of
It
Nigerian
happens.
teams.
It happens.
Let me
It
say
has
this.
happened.
Mary, let me say this. Just give me a minute. Look, I understand the concern from your angle. But this is it. Nigerian teams are naturally not better than these teams. So look at it from that spectrum. We're not better than these teams. These teams are naturally better than us. So these teams, Nigerian side, have to give a lot of fights to be where they are.
So basically,
because in terms of quality,
we do not stand any chance whatsoever by hook or by crook against these North Africans. That's what you're
why,
saying.
What I'm saying is, that is why it is eminent and it is so painful when these guys give a lot of fight and they're being cheated by superior
So what
teams.
do we now do in the face of this competition? Because these antics we're talking about, as we talked about in the morning,
Yeah.
it didn't start yesterday. It's been there for time immemorial. You go back to the history, the beginning of the CAF Champions League and the Confederations Cup. It's been there. So now, do we now say every time we're paired against a North African team, pack your bags and let's go home? Because naturally, they always have the advantage. What can we do to now stop this tide?
Well, it starts from building a stronger team. That's it. It starts from spending more. It also starts from fairness in the league. Because look, if you're critical about our league, I watch a few matches from the league and sometimes I'm so disappointed. Referees' decisions, teams are trying to buy games. It's basically what it is.
No, right.
So
At
it
the
goes
end of
on
the
to
day-
be affected in the long run
at the
when
end
you
of
go
the
to
day,
CAF
right,
competitions.
as I said, right, I think there's a gulf in quality, basically, between North African sides and this and our sides, because you look at the quality, look at the games, at the end of the day, they won. So apart from the fact that we should have done a lot better at home, but I think the difference between these sides and Nigeria is definitely quality. And that's the answer to every question, quality.
So what do we now do?
Well, right, I think...
Improve the sides, right,
Improve our sides.
basically that's it.
Build quality. Let's pay attention to the technicality of football, not just the physicality
What
of
do we
it.
do?
Bring in a lot of younger players to the team.
What do we do to the antics?
Right. Leave the antics first. Leave the
Yeah, but
antics
this
first.
antics-
Let's also demand.
If you score,
I want to see Nigerian sides.
if you're a good side and you score 5 goals, whatever, even if they tell you not to train in Algeria.
Murray keeps saying score 5 goals. 5 goals, are they cheap? They're not cheap, Murray.
Well, let's score
Come on,
6.
this football
Let's
is
score
not
6
serious.
against Rivers United yesterday.
Now, please join the conversation.
consider 6.
090-222-310-127 624-565. We talk about our continental teams. Now, we spent a lot of time here, and you know why. This thing is now becoming of a concern, because it looks like every single time we meet these non-Africans, it looks like we've met a Waterloo. What can we do to change the narrative? We'll talk about the Premier League in a bit, all right? Still right here with us. Welcome. Football fan, name, location. Good to have you join us.
Hello, Brian.
Thank you for joining.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been long.
Yeah.
I don't matter from you.
Welcome, Udom Makara.
Yeah, but sorry, I don't want to talk about Nigeria, but
Well, you have to. We have to. Otherwise, you have to call us back.
Okay, whatever the case is, I wish Nigeria the best.
Welcome, football fan. Name and location. Good to have you join us.
Hello, guys. Mariam Delaware. Good afternoon.
Well, it's Mariam Blyden. Welcome, Dominic.
Right. I want to say I'm disappointed with the way things are going to the Confederation in the CAF. You know, but first, Nigerians need to lodge a complaint to CAF and they know what happened. You know, when the media officer of Rivers United and Kwara United spoke to us here, we were very, very disappointed with what happens to the respective teams. You know, they didn't treat them well there. And even for you to call a Tunisian referee to go and referee one of them, you know, it is not going to be easy for them. Though there is no need for you guys to say that they should be scoring 5 goals. It is a Champions League. You know that we played one of the best teams here. So they bring in India antics, which wasn't good to the Nigerian team. So I feel disappointed for the exiles of both teams. So, but as for Liverpool, I say congratulations to them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll talk about the Premier League in a bit. Welcome, football fan. Name and location. Good to have you join us. Well, maybe we should head there already and look at the fixtures, the results, and then further the conversation here. But after this batch, of course, welcome, football fan. Name and location. Good to have you join us.
Yeah, good afternoon, sport analyst. Mr. Is on the line.
All right, Mr. Easy, go ahead.
Let me quickly start in African continent and knocking them out of their competition from Champions League down to Confederation Cup. And I want to say that these people are like Bayern Munich taking on a playoff like Rangers of Scotland or a dance team in a Belgium side, Bodo Cliff, like that. So what are we Nigerian fans complaining about? This is a quality. This is a money spender team.
No, so sorry about that, Mr. Easy. Call us back so you can evolve your thoughts, all right?
Hello.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Good afternoon, Bright James.
Thank you for joining.
Yes, I'm my name is calling from Geneva. Please, I want you to complain something under 17 Women World Cup. Please, we'll discuss.
Nigeria won Chile by 2-1.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for joining. We appreciate you. Welcome, football fan. Name and location.
Hello, good afternoon, Bright James.
Yeah, Victor, the Sport Oracle.
Maradona and Bright James, you have really spoke well. Our people used to say that Bright James. They knew that was just broke against Plateau United. They let a penalty to allow Plateau to crash out from the CAF Champions. A shock that. I don't know why the northern countries, their referees and everything has taken over African football suddenly. Even they tried Rivers United. If you look at it, it's a result of the intimidation. But let me say very clearly, because anytime we play a competition in different African country club sides, this team won, and the agreement is every team that won the first, the second must represent their country in this. So anytime Nigeria will go to other Africa, it's kind of an intimidation. And I believe that the government of Nigeria and CAF have the responsibility for them to have a kind of a clear understanding. So apart from us here in our home, not being arranging ourselves, but outside do not help us to contribute in what we really have. So let me thank Ryan Potter for him giving back the Chelsea confidence, winning back-to-back match.
All right.
So still look forward, and let me wish the Flamingos lady best this afternoon. That's my thing. Thank you for
They already played earlier. Thank you for joining.
Good afternoon, Bright and Sports Crew.
Top Gunner, welcome.
Bright, it was a sad news last weekend for Fire United and Plateau United. They were beaten by the North African teams. In my last week analysis, I called for good officiating, which fed on CAF dead here. Bright, how comes an Egyptian referee officiating a North African game? The Plateau United and a center, Bright. Even Emmanuel again brought a player down outside a team. Then the referee awarded a controversial penalty, the Egyptian referee. In the 88 minutes, even when our mother died, no zero car called. If there is any, I score cap 0.
The assistant referee ought to call the central referee attention. In addition, Flamingoes and his boys, they went there and put bodies in the ball. But were defensive game. But North African teams use antics. Do you know that when FIFA United players are doing their training, a light went off? Plateau United is appointed a bright. Upon what Fidelis Elechiku promised us to do. Let them go back to the drawing board. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, so going for joining. We appreciate you. Let's now leave here and head to Europe very quickly and begin the conversation from the Premier League. Return with some fixtures. Let's talk about the results now. Of Liverpool yesterday as they saw Manchester City by 0-0 at Anfield. Well, Chelsea had Mason Mount to thank. Two mistakes by Aston Villa, and the man was the punisher on that occasion. Scored twice as Chelsea continued their meteoric rise on the Graham Potters. 2-0 against Aston Villa. Now, the man, Steven Gerrard, looks under real pressure. Bukayo Saka's goal was a difference as Arsenal held on to a Navy win at Ellen Road against Leeds United. They won by 0-0 to keep their spot at the top of the table. United fired blanks against Newcastle even at Old Trafford. 0-0 data with ended. And Declan Rice earned West Ham a point away from home at St. Mary's. It was Southampton 1, West Ham 1. Harry Kane scored. Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg scored as Tottenham against Everton. Bournemouth 2, Fulham 2. Wolverhampton Wanderers had a win against Nottingham Forest at the Molineux. Leicester fired blanks against Crystal Palace, while on Friday, Brentford, through a brace from Ivan Toney, saw up Brighton by 2-0. Arsenal. Many say it's lonely at the top now for the Gunners. Let's hear from Mikel Arteta.
It's always really intense here in this stadium. The atmosphere is created. I think the first time we were exceptional in many moments. I think we should have put the game 2 or 3-0 up. We didn't do that, and then the second half was a different story. Credit to Leeds, the way they came out in the second half, they created this problem. We made so many easy errors and giveaways in really dangerous areas that put us under trouble, and then we never generated any momentum, any control in the game. Very different to the first, but I just loved.
All right, so that's Mikel Arteta. Let's hear from the fans and talk. Okay.
Right.
Okay, please take the phone off loudspeaker.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, it's a lot better now.
Let me come. One thing you have to understand in Nigerian football, you are a game man. And that is why you are doing fine, no matter that you are bright. Nigeria should hand over sports entirely to retired players and sports retired people that knows how to run sports. Look, let me tell you, in 1985, it's only Rangers and any that know how to handle African sports design. 85, Ali play Nigeria in their design. In the night, late night, Ames Okonkwo was shouting. Then they come to Nigeria. Enugu Rangers bring them out in the afternoon, 12 o'clock, 12. They give them 4-0 in Enugu with Alasha Sotategu. So if at all we know sports, but that I think it was Jim Nobody. So if you know sports, you know how to handle it. Tell politicians in Nigeria to hands off their hand in sports in Nigeria.
All right, okay.
I'm coming. Let me finish. I have never finished. Coming to England, bright. Go to the history of football in England. That is why I love Liverpool, but I am not a fan of Liverpool. Because Liverpool can never do without God. They pray every time. before the match starts. Tell your colleagues there, Mari, tell him that 9-0 have already turned to 1-0.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Well, he has that. Yeah,
he did.
Thank you very much.
He remembers.
Yeah, absolutely, he does. You can't forget such a striking statement. Welcome. Mr. Easy, 45.
Mr. Easy again.
Take 45.
Thank you. I want to congratulate Salah. Salah deserves all kind of honor for Liverpool as long as the red EAC is concerned. So it is high time that Salah to take up his football so that he can silence the critics, especially those that are making noise that have Liverpool achieve success through money. I want every player in Liverpool to prove them wrong, no matter the worst situation and the bad situation that Liverpool are now.
All right, Mr. Easy.
Down City. And let me
Thank you very much. No, that's a very fine place to land already. Okay. Good to have you join us. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, this is Destiny going from that. Yeah, and I created Arizona there in the studio. My brother, let me tell you one thing. Last weekend I heard the analysis of Arizona. Arizona said that Liverpool going to play a two club with Man City and Erling Haaland. My brother, football is not playing on the paper. When we enter the pitch, that's where football is playing. So yesterday, Liverpool put in a draw. And so I congratulate Liverpool for their victory yesterday. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate you. Let's hear from the masterminder. Let's hear from Jurgen Klopp.
How much hard work was that for your team tonight?
A lot. We were at the limit, so that's what we had to be. But told the boys in half time, if you think it's intense, ask them. It's for them the same intensity, and in the end it will be a little bit about who wants it more. Not that they didn't want it, they wanted a lot, but we had then of course the help from Anfield, home game. That must make the difference in moments, and we had the better chances in the end, the clearer chances in a super intense game against a team which is incredibly difficult to play, but we closed the right gaps, we found the challenges in the right areas, we denied them in so many moments where they actually want to usually get really through. But that's it. It's not more. It was just a super game. Two really good football teams who gave the absolute all.
All right, so that's Jurgen Klopp. Blind, I'll start with you now. What impressed you the most? Or, which of the players impressed you the most in that performance? Liverpool, Man City.
Well, Van Dijk. Van Dijk. He just told the world, I'm still Van Dijk. I'm still that player that no one could dribble at a time, could dribble past at a time. I see that player that met the top 3 in the Ballon d'Or list. Quality display. He showed Erling Haaland and Manchester City that he was the man. He had the onions. He knew how to do the job, and he did it fantastically well. But on the other hand, I was really proud. Not proud. Let me say this. I was sort of shocked that for a while I never realized the importance of Robertson on the side. He just came in, triggered the entire setup. For a while now, we've always seen Liverpool trying to attack only from Salah's points, from the right flank. And it seemed like the left flank was totally dead until Robertson came out and boom. And Salah loves this kind of distraction. When the whole attention is not on him. Firmino too was absolutely fantastic. But come on, you have to talk about the Egyptian god, Mo Salah.
Right.
I can describe him better than that.
Alisson was a star for me, right? We don't talk about Alisson a lot. He's one goalkeeper. I mean, the fact that he's error prone, kind of covers the kind of performance this man has. He made 5 key saves inside the box. Yesterday for Liverpool to help them secure that 1-0 victory. Was a fine performer, and then capped it off with an assist because he was the one that initiated that attack that Mo Salah went on to score. So for me, Alisson put a fine performance. You understood the enormity of that kind of game and brought out his A game to make sure that he kept the Haalands and a few Fodens at bay for 90 minutes. And for me, he was the star of the game.
All right, now let's hear from the beaten Pep Guardiola.
Assessment of what you just saw.
It was a real good game. Both sides tight as usual, and we make a mistake. Kevin didn't follow the transition, and Joao lose the duel, and we lost in one action. But in general, the game was really good.
Yeah, so that's Pep. Welcome, football fan. Name location. Good to have you join us.
Hello, Mr. Bryce.
Yeah, Uwem.
Hey, thank you.
No, so you were beaten.
Yo.
Your team was beaten.
Of course, say that, VAR has been, denied us our goals.
Which VAR? Which goal? Uwem.
Yes. I pity Liverpool went to the standing of the Premier League table. Mr. Bryce, why fans of Chelsea, Arsenal, Man U, Liverpool, hate Man City? Why? Because we are so good. When I with all those fans, we are supporting Liverpool to win Man City because we are so contenders of the Premier League. They call us local champions because we are not carrying Champions League. We assure them that this season, Champions League belongs to us.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining.
Hello,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Thank you for joining us.
This is Marty.
All right.
I'm a Liverpool fan, Marty from here. I live when Liverpool used to destroy Man City. That I'm talking, are you hearing me?
Yes, absolutely yes.
We beat Man City and we take Community Shield Cup. So we have skill to play Man City. Please tell me the history, Liverpool fans. And Antolino, I don't know where Antolino is there, and Mr. Mo from Calabar. Liverpool is back with the form.
Right.
We picked it from Rangers.
All right.
So Liverpool is back. Any team Liverpool beat. Thank you for.
Just hope it's not
Thank
a
you.
one-off thing.
Thank you very much for joining. Let's go to La Liga and talk about the biggest game there. It was the El Clasico. And Karim Benzema showed up, and Mari, we hear. The moment he shows up, he will pick the Ballon d'Or tonight. They're just gathering to wait for him. The moment he shows up, they just hand him the thing, and then we're gone.
Yeah, absolutely right. Nobody else comes close to this man's achievement from last season. Took Real Madrid to the La Liga win. Of course, the Champions League win, but nobody give them a chance. We'll always talk about their run from the quarterfinals, beating likes of Chelsea, PSG, Manchester City, and Liverpool in the final. So definitely, I mean, this man was in the forefront of all of this run. So, I mean, he deserves it. And last season, he had 48 goal contributions, in your competition. So that shows you quality, right? So, well, and scoring a goal before you get the Ballon d'Or award is also good yesterday. So I think, I agree with you, right? Everybody just wants to gather there. And I hope he's already preparing his acceptance speech, though.
Well, he has.
What? You shouldn't go there and start crying and say, I didn't expect this.
No, you can't do that. Karim is a big boy.
Congrats, Karim, already.
Jordi Alba is a left back at Barca. Says, Barca, still have a long way to go.
Well, I think the longest route they have is Xavi Hernandez for me. They have a quality team as far as I'm concerned. But when I look at Xavi really doesn't understand this work.
Is it a Moses to take them to the promised land?
Not at all. Not at all, because he doesn't even know where the promised land is. That's basically it for me. You look at Xavi on the bench, you realize, he's been hyped a lot. He's not really coached in Europe. Come on, it's a totally different ball game if you go to Saudi Arabia and you're coaching or winning. Or you're coaching with the best side in Saudi Arabia or Kuwait, and you're getting the result, and you come to probably the English Premier League or Spain, and you're playing against the best sides in Europe. It doesn't work that way. He should have understudied another coach in Europe. That's what I'm looking at. Right. But when it has to do with quality, let me just share with not just Benzema, but okay.
Welcome, football fan. Name location. Share with him. Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, my name is Nancy. I'm calling from Islam.
Been a while I heard that name.
But again, please, I want to ask you, the match that Rivers United played, when the goalkeeper was shown a red card, did they replace a goalkeeper to the post, or it was a player who went to the goal post to kick? Please, I want to know.
No, it's a
goalkeeper was replaced. Victor Suchima had to come in, and then the player had to go out.
Like, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, a goalkeeper. A goalkeeper replaced the goalkeeper.
Okay, but again, it is a clear indication that in our Nigerian football, mango and other things should be stopped. Because I see no reason where just one player was missing on the team. They lost not just one, not two, not three, not even four. It was too bad. Too bad, 300.
All right. Thank you very much
It was
for
too bad.
joining the conversation this afternoon. We appreciate you. Welcome, football fan. Your name, your location. Good to have you join us.
Yeah, Mr. Easy again. 20
Take two.
seconds, I know. Yeah. When you play a good team, then you down to one man. That team have every advantage to give you even 10-0. So if that was the case, that Rivers United have lost 6-0, well, it's a football. Let us consider as a football. And I want to...
No, don't again. It's the 25 you asked for. Karim Benzema meanwhile scored. Federico Valverde, and of course, Rodrigo scored for Real. Ferran Torres scored what turned out to be a consolation for Barca. Mari, can we go to Facebook and just look at the comments from there after the results from the Italian Serie A match day 10? Empoli beat Monza by a goal to nothing. Juventus 1-0 winners over Torino. Dusan Vlahovic got the winner. Well, Inter Milan had a 2-0 win at the San Siro. Lautaro Martinez, Nicolo Barella got the job done for them against Salernitana. Elsewhere, we saw Milan seeing of Verona by 2-1. The man Sandro Tonali popped up with the winner. It was the same story. Victor Osimhen returning from injuries now made it 2 in 2 games. Got the winner as Napoli saw up Bologna 3-2 to continue their fine form this season. Atalanta 2-1 winners over Sassuolo, Lazio 0, Udinese 0. Later tonight, Roma traveled to Sampdoria, and of course Lecce had taken Fiorentina. The story from there. Mari, check us to Facebook and let's see how much ground we can cover.
Yeah, right, from the sports, from the live feed rather. Sylvia Achibong says, I want to sincerely appreciate my lovely Arsenal team for that away victory over the weekend. Congrats to Real Madrid for that El Clasico win last weekend. Liverpool for that unexpected win against Manchester City. Kudos to the Flamingos. Abubakar Ibrahim says, congrats to the Flamingos. Please, what is the need of the extra time that's been added in today's game between Germany and New Zealand? Xavi is not needed. He's not ready to win big games. Team selection always been his problem in big games. Lucas IB says, until Nigerian teams learn how to get away results, even in the MPFL games, they won't study the art of winning at difficult grounds. First United should be stripped of the champions badge. What a shame. Excel the Great says, congrats to our Nigerian girls. God's agreement Tom says, good day guys. I want to join with you guys, celebrate Nigerian girls with achievement. I have this belief that they will go far in this tournament. Yubi Akang says, age 23 years and 279 days. Mason Mount is the second youngest player to score 25 Premier League goals for Chelsea after Eden Hazard, who was 23 years and 271 days. Kepa saved the day for Chelsea, up Neymar Jr. And I think I should head to the sports page.
Meanwhile, let's give you updates from the FIFA Under 17 Men's World Cup. It's US 1, Morocco 0, 25 minutes of action. It's Brazil 1, India 0, 25 minutes of action as well. So we're the sport page now.
Yeah.
Take us there.
All right, so Fatuski says City looks like ordinary yesterday playing against Liverpool. I hope EPL teams will emulate what Liverpool did yesterday and deal with Haaland and his teammates. Who said it more? Johnny says, I think it's high time we started talking about artistic gymnastics here in the States as other states across the Federation does. Abbas James says, good day, sports crew. My weekend was good. Liverpool ending Man City's run of 4. And Flamingoes making me so happy. Haaland never see goal dropped yet. Kiri Gabriel says, good afternoon, sports crew. It was a bittersweet weekend. Barcelona and Man City unbeaten run came to an end. Kudos to the Flamingos for qualifying for the quarterfinals. Mike and Yekan says, good afternoon, guys. What a season Arsenal are having. The reality, the dream was to become a reality. Liverpool really played well. Good news also says Liverpool could have scored more than 5 goals yesterday, but they wasted a lot of chances. Haaland could not save City yesterday. Congrats to my team, Chelsea, for winning Villa. Mount is doing well. Chelsea to step up their game. Joseph Sobero says, if and only these Flamingos can score goals, they probably could be a contender for the Under-17 trophy. I've never seen a team this wasteful. They are a good team, no doubt, but going into the knockout stages, they'll have to score.
All right. Welcome, football fan. Name location. Good to have you join us.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dajen. My name is Ifeanyi Domingo.
Right. If you'll please take 30. What a time.
James, I want to say in a very special congratulations to Liverpool for commissioning Manchester City for defeat this season. And also I want to thank Kepa Arrizabalaga for his nice save over the weekend. The man has shown very well that he has reasons to start for Chelsea ahead of a lot of minutes. Thank you for having me. My name is Ifeanyi Domingo.
Thank you very much, Ifeanyi. We're forgetting about Mendy, so welcome. Top Gunner, 25.
But my game were against Leeds United. Kudos to my boys. Although they struggle, United missed a penalty. But Gabriel should improve on his game. He's too clumsy. He escaped being sent off in that match. The fact against the Madrid and Barca bright. This guy, Tony Cruz, he has a precise pass, very disabled, without Vinicius Junior. Eric Garcia had no job in that game, right?
All right, thank you very much, Top Gunner, for joining. You've taken 35. Kepa Arrizabalaga, well, it's really staking a claim and is really nailing down that number one spot, Leiden.
Yeah, it's part of football. What happens in football, you have your opportunity and you take it. That's what Kepa has done. The same way Mendy had his opportunity when Kepa was the first choice and he took it. It's football, but beautiful for Chelsea side when you know that you have two top goalkeepers. Anyone can keep for you. It's just for Mendy to keep his cool. If keeper make mistakes, Mendy comes in and who knows what might happen.
Right.
I think it's just good competition for Chelsea's goalkeeping position. Now that Mendy's on the bench, you'll definitely be praying for a chance. And when he gets it, he won't mess up because Mendy at some point was becoming very, very arrogant and was letting goals anyhow. So I think it's a good thing for both goalkeepers.
All right, before we go, here's Graham.
A little bit, Kepa Arrizabalaga. What words you use to describe what he's done out there today? World class from him.
It was, yeah, a world class performance. I think first half especially, big saves when you need the goalkeeper, especially here. He needs to come, and he did. So really pleased for him. He's had a tough period at times here, but he contributed to the points today.
All right, so when you have your manager being such glowing tributes, then.
Your first choice.
You've got it. Thank you very much, Mari. Thank you, Blyden, for joining the conversation, and thank you too, you for joining. We thoroughly appreciate you. Happy birthday, Tessie. You have our very best wishes, right? So I'm waiting for my cake too, Mari.
Yeah, happy birthday, Kenneth Omero. He turns 29 today. Shocking.
This man is only 30.
Wouldn't be able to do the better thing, but big congratulations to Sadio Mane for making the top 3 for the Ballon d'Or.
Right. So,
what if the French will shock us so that gives it to Sadio Mane?
They won't shock us. It's French.
Yeah. All right, so I'm off to France for the Ballon d'Or after that.
Thank
you very much.
So your flight.
Guys.